Good evening and welcome to the Tri-Cities Mountain Empire Weekly Digital Fusion Net. This is N4NT. The name is Adam, net control station for this evening's net. Before we begin the net, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance, so we ask that if you have a flag in the room, if you'll face that and stand and remove any headgear. Place your hand over your heart. Veterans may render a salute and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This net meets each Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time in the QSO America room, 43815, which also has a FCS room, FCS4 RM 54. The Mountain Empire Amateur Radio Society, or MERS Group, room 40843, will serve as a backup should the Bristol room, or the QSO America room be down at net time. Currently, the Bristol room is down, and I'm still looking for some time to try to tinker with that HRI 200 and get that back up and running. Whenever possible, recordings of this net are uploaded to the Ham Radio Zone YouTube page and or broadcast live, and we are currently doing that tonight. So visit the net website at qsl.net/TCME or tcme.club for net info and links to the different other pages. This net emanates from the Tri-Cities area, consisting of counties in northeast Tennessee and the Mountain Empire of the southwestern portion of Virginia. All amateurs are welcome to check in with us. If you'd like to follow along with the net, we use a program called NetLogger, which is available for free download at netlogger.org. And we typically have each person that checks in, once you make your comments, just have you pass it on to the next person. If you are not by a computer or you don't want to download a program, you can go to a website, K3CLR, that's Kilo 3 Charlie Lima Romeo.com. Click on the Tri-Cities Mountain Empire Fusion Net, and you can see the list. That's kind of a mirror site for NetLogger. You can see the list of check-ins there. Otherwise, when we run down the list here in a few moments after we take some more check-ins, if you just be prepared if you have a pen and paper handy. And typically what I do is give out the call sign and the name. That way if you don't have a pen and paper or any of the other options, hopefully at least remember the name of the next person and just pass it on that way. Okay, before we officially started, we took early check-ins. We do have 8 people on the list so far, but at this time we'll go ahead and start taking some other check-ins in addition, and we'll go back and get comments from everybody. So when checking in, give your name, call, and location. Let us know if you're going to be in and out. If you simply check in, then we will come back to you for comments. So any station wishing to check in, please call now.
Hello. In South Charleston, West Virginia, I am short time taking a break on my night shift from work, but I wanted to get checked in. Good evening, everyone, and Adam, thank you for running the net. This is K8RRT.
Yeah, control, this is WVAL. I think I doubled with K8RRT. This is WVAL, North American, West Virginia.
Okay, yeah, I got it a little mixed up there, but I think I've got it straightened out now. So we got Bill in Hurricane, West Virginia, WD8L, and then I also got Tim in Cologne, West Virginia, K8RRT, and I believe Tim was the short time, so we'll get back to you here in just a moment, Tim. Are there any other stations that would like to check in?
Net control, please check in. L4 JQA, Gerald and Abington, in and out.
Okay, we got Gerald in Abington, Virginia, KL4JQA, checked in and out, but welcome to the net and welcome to Amateur Radio, Gerald. Been following the posts on Facebook and everything, and congratulations on joining us. We're certainly glad to have you. Any other stations you'd like to check in?
KJ7 NRP with a question, please.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I may have hit the button too quick there. KJ7 NRP, you have a question? Go ahead.
Yeah, this is KJ7 NRP, and I have the net logger on my screen. It shows 12 different nets at this time, and I don't recognize any of the names. What is the name of this net? This is KJ7 NRP.
Okay, it's the Tri-Cities Mountain Empire Fusion Net. Should be mountain should be abbreviated there. High-Cities Mountain Empire Fusion Net.
Thank you very much, KJ7 NRP.
Oh, no problem. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do the net topic real quick. I hold in my hand the envelope as a child of 4 can plainly see. It has been hermetically sealed and kept in a mayonnaise jar on Thunken Wagnall's porch until noon today. But I will, in my semi-mystical and somewhat divine way, reveal the topic for tonight's net. And it's going to be one of those things that everybody talks about every day, I'm sure. But for some of us, anyway, at least in this local to this area, it was the first of this season or what have you. We had our first official snow here in the Tri-Cities Mountain Empire region for this winter. So that's what tonight's topic's going to be. How's the weather in your area? As usual, the topic is strictly optional, and you're not limited to just the topic. Make comments about anything that you'd like. Before I read the list, what I'm going to do, I'm going to honor our short time here. I know Tim's at work, so we're going to see if he's still hanging with us. KRRT. Tim, if you're still there, you go ahead, and then we'll work the list after that.
Thank you very much. The timing worked out perfectly. Here in West Virginia, where I live, here in the Kanawha River Valley, we're not at the higher elevations. They've got a lot more snow than we did. We're about where I live at. It's about 650 feet above sea level, and so it's definitely down in the flatter part of West Virginia. And we got about 3 inches of snow overnight into this morning, and I think we're hovering about 30 degrees right now, and it's kind of normal for this time of year down here. And I think the mountainous areas it is a lot colder, and they got more, several more inches. But Anyway, all good here. Roads weren't bad. I'm on night shifts and through Sunday morning, so it'll be kind of my routine and back and forth. And this is a good lunchtime break for me, and it all worked out that I could get checked in here after our local net here in the Kanawha Valley. So great job as always, Adam. And you all carry on, and glad to be a part of it. This is K8RRT Tim in West Virginia.
Okay, Tim, thanks for joining us there on your break. I marked you as unavailable on NetLogger, so I don't accidentally forget and try to come back to you later. But if you are still in there later and need to make any other comments or anything, well, you're still welcome and a part of the net there. But I know you're typically working when you check in, so we want to make sure we got to you. All right, so what we'll do, and if you're out there waiting to check in, we will take check-ins again after a round of comments. So just hang in there with us, and we'll be glad to get you on the list. I'm going to read the list now, and as we typically do, I know we got some new folks tonight. Each person, if you'll keep track of the person after you, either by name and or call sign, when you're done with your comments, just pass it on to that next person. That's typically how we keep it rolling. If you forget, I'll be in here to jump in and get it moving again. So we'll start with me. I'm N4NT, name's Adam, and I'll be passing it to Wayne, WA4JCF. Wayne, you'll pass it to Ralph, N4XRD. Ralph, you'll pass it to Dallas, KD4CCO. And Dallas, you'll pass it to Jim number 1 for the night, and that's KE4MVW. And then Jim number 1 will pass to Jim Nahu, WA4RX. And then Jim WA4RX, Jim, you'll pass it to KJ7NRP Michael. Michael, you'll pass it to Scott, KV8ZIO. And then our current tail gunner with the in and outs and everything is Bill, WD8L. So let me reset, and I'll go ahead and make my comments and everything, and then pass it on. Okay. Well, here in Bristol, Tennessee, and of course, Bristol, Virginia, connected to us wasn't much different today. I didn't really keep track too much of the temperature. I think it was like 23 degrees when I left for work at 7 o'clock this morning, and I think I saw, at least on my personal in-car thermometer, I saw a high of about 32. I don't know what the official numbers are, but we did get a little dusting of snow, and I've got a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old boy, and they were just as excited as they could be. It snowed on their little blow-up Christmas decorations, and made them lean over a little bit, and they thought that was kind of funny. And my older son went out there tonight when those things kicked on and knocked the snow off of them so that they could blow up. And my new position at work consists of a mixture of patrolling in my car and foot patrols, and then we've got this little 3-wheeled Segway thing that I can ride around on, which is kind of fun. And I didn't mess with the Segway, and I only did foot patrols at a minimum today. Most of the time I cruised around in my car, or I parked in my car and did it that way. So that's been what my day consisted of. Now, a little bit of net business let me bring up here. With this new position that I'm working, I'm also working a new schedule where 1 week I work 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's always a 4-day work week, 10-hour days. And then the following week, I'll work noon until 10 p.m., and I'll just rotate back and forth. The really neat thing about the job is I'm getting all the weekends off right now, unless I just sign up and work overtime. But anyway, how that affects the net is every other week I won't be available to be net control now. Ken and a couple other people have mentioned possibly helping out, so I greatly would appreciate that. Like I say, this week, obviously, I'm here. Let me reset. So next week, I might be able to check in, but I won't be able to do net control because I'll be out and about mobile. and that'll just go on a rotation for a while. So hopefully some folks will jump in and kind of help out and keep the net going. And I want to apologize for last week. I wasn't working. I actually, I'll just be straight up honest with you. I sat down in my recliner prior to net time, started watching TV, and I woke up way after the net should have been over. So that's just one of those things. I got a couple texts from people, but it wasn't enough to wake me up and all that kind of stuff. So I do apologize for that. But so that's my weather, and that's my week, and that's my comments. I'll pass it to Wayne, WA4JCF.
Hey, Adam, N4NT, this is WA4JCF. I'm at the Tri-City Mountain Empire Fusion Net website on YouTube, and the order that you called out seems to match the list. So hopefully I can just look up here and I'll know who to pass it to. That's kind of interesting. Oh, okay, looks like my call sign all of a sudden has a, whatever that means. But anyway, last week there wasn't any net control, and I guess maybe just kind of took turns transmitting. Just had a few little comments. As far as the weather, I have my own thermometer with a little remote control. Transmitter to have these little receivers. They're saying it's 29 degrees. My little iPad mini, which I'm from, it's showing 27 degrees. And it's the chilliest day yet. And of course it snowed. I worked in the yard yesterday. I'm trying to see if I can work on that a little more around here. But, anyway, this is a day that I went out shopping for groceries and come back, so hopefully I'll be able to set my little convene for a few more days before I go out again. But anyway, I noticed some some of really goes around and comes around. Okay, I see it's looking at the screen. It's M4 SRD Ralph and Chilhowie. Get your next. This is Wayne, WA4JCF, and the next slot.
Thank you, Wayne. This is N4XRD Ralph and Chilhowie, where the temperature is currently 25 degrees. It's interesting, my little Accurite thermometer here in the shack goes through a hole in the wall, in the cinder block wall of the basement, is the same hole that has my coax cables going out. And 2 meters doesn't seem to bother it, but when I'm on HF and got the power turned up a little bit, when I key up and talk on sideband, the temperature seems to modulate with my voice. But anyway, it's 25 and steady here right now. I had a little bit of snow today, and a little bit of snow on the ground, and it just almost covering the grass, and some sticking on the road. And it snowed just enough additional today that it kept the same amount of snow on there. So we didn't lose it to any sunlight, or we didn't lose it to sublimation either. My new criteria for when the winter officially hits occurred to me today as I was walking down the mailbox. There was salt on the road, and I had seen the state truck go by earlier, the salt shaker, and now my new criteria for is it really winter is if there's salt on the road. So maybe that'll be my new criteria for when winter's over, too. It's when they last salt the road and the rain finally washes it off. I don't expect much of a big winter here, but I wouldn't mind a good snow. And I guess that's the weather here in Redstone Branch, Chilhowie, Virginia. and I'll hand it over to Dallas, who's a much bigger weather buff than me. KD4 CCO, take it away, Dallas.
Okay, here I'm having a little trouble getting the repeater to come up for some reason. Yeah, it's been a cold day for sure. I don't think it ever got above freezing here in my house. It's reading 27 degrees here now, and it's going to be quite a bit cooler than that by the morning. And it's one of those 3-dog nights that they sing about, you know. Not much going on over here. We're just trying to stay warm and stay out of trouble. So I'll turn it over to Jim, KE4 MVW in Elizabethton. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Dallas. This is Kilo Echo 4 Mike Victor Whiskey. Jim in Elizabethton. Not much going on here today either. We've currently got a balmy 28 degrees here in Elizabethton. And up a little bit higher than the average terrain. We got about 3 inches of snow on the ground. Some of it kind of sublimated or melted off of the grassy surfaces, but we still got a pretty good covering on the ground. And hopefully we won't be in for a bad winter, but I think we're kind of due for one, but we'll see. That being said, thanks, Adam, for running the net, and it's my first time checking in, so I'll be trying to check in again in the future. And I'll turn it over to W81 for RX, Jim number 2. Take it away.
Okay, KE4 MVW, Jim. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. It's WA4RX on the eastern shore of Virginia, about as far east in the state as you can go. Sitting down on the Delmarva Peninsula, and where it's right now, 36 degrees. I don't think it's supposed to get much colder tonight. Maybe go down close to freezing. And we had frost on the ground this morning. So, but we didn't get any of the white stuff. The water on both sides of us will keep it away for another 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month anyway, before. But when it does snow here, it usually ends up being pretty good, like in the 12 to 14 inch range. We don't get too many dusting. Anyway, just a little background. For the West Virginia boys, I spent the first 14 years of my life in South Charleston, and I got a sister that lives in Tays Alley, so I'm very familiar with that area of the country. And then I used to do a lot of work in Grundy and Logan, so familiar with that area too. So anyway, it's not where you guys are is not uncommon to me, for instance. Good part of the country. So Adam, I wanted to join the net for a couple of times, and unfortunately I've had your problem. Is I fell asleep. I keep falling asleep in the dadgum lounge chair, and by the time I wake up, you're net over with. But just wanted to tell you that I enjoy the net, and I will try to log back in if I don't fall asleep again. So I'll turn it over to Michael, KJ7NRP. This is WA4RX.
KJ7 NRP. I just looked on QRZ. It's got Mike on there in quotation marks, so we'll change that on that logger. Mike, are you still in there with us?
Yes, sir. I'm still here. Can you read me now? This is KJ7 NRP. Can you read me now?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Copy on you. Go ahead. FCS4 RM. This is KJ7 NRP. I'm out in Bellingham, Washington, 100 miles north of Seattle and about 60 miles from Vancouver. We have a lot of snow on a mountain called Mount Baker, which is about 60 miles to the east of us. And we don't see a lot of snow in our town. Right now we've only got about 36 degrees out, which is a little chilly, but it's a great place to be. We had a beautiful sunny day today, and it's great to be on the net. And I think it's time that Scott had his turn. KB8ZIO. This is KJ7 NRP. Well, thank you, Mike. KJ7 NRP. This is KB8ZIO. Had just a couple inches of snow today. Not a lot to worry about. It was the kind of snow I like. That roads weren't covered. Didn't have to worry about a thing. I did something strange. I shoveled off the porch in case the UPS guy brought a delivery or something like that. You never know about these things. Then there's the grandkids coming tomorrow. So I didn't want nobody to fall. So that's about the most work I've done other than dinner and some laundry. Just been playing on the radios and doing, well, ham radio at its best and its finest. And that's really all I got to say. And I'll pass it on to Bill, Whiskey Delta 8 Lima.
Net control, this is WD8L. Tim gave a weather report a while ago, KA's car RT, and he lives about roughly 6 miles from me, so, you know, got the same thing. But I can talk about, I had my leg amputated and I got a new toy to play with here about 2 weeks ago. I got a new electric wheelchair. Well, supposedly it's a real good thing, you know. So I go outside. It was dry, and I go out and I get hung up in grass outside. But I suppose about 200 or 300 feet from my house. So I had my phone with me, so I called my wife and I told her my situation, and she said, well, what do you want to do? So I had to go get my tractor. I got a Kubota tractor, and she had to get a Kubota tractor to pull my wheelchair out of the grass. And so I got that straightened out. I turned around and backed over a little place about 4 inches high and turned my wheelchair over, and the thing weighs 425 pounds, and it rolled clear over backwards and rolled me out in the yard, and busted the back of my wheelchair up, just the plastic part of it. And anyway, my wife didn't like that, so that really bothered her a lot. And she didn't ask me how I was, but she asked me, she said, you didn't tear it up, did you? So I said, well, the veterans pay for it anyway, so, you know. Anyhow, that's about all I've got for adventures. You know, it's cold here, getting back to the weather, like Tim said, and hopefully I won't have to go out I had to go out today for a little while, but I had a ride, so hopefully I won't have to be traveling outside. And I hope everybody has it safe with this weather, slick roads and everything. I hope everybody slows down and takes it easy. But that's about all I've got. This is then we derail back to the net control.
Okay, thanks everybody for the check-ins and the comments, and we'll take some more here in just a second. I'll make a couple quick mentions. I always make notes as there's comment and the things I want to bring up if I need to. Wayne brought up a good point. You know, I never thought to mention this, but you can also go to YouTube and follow the net that way. Now it does lag a second or two behind, but you can read the list that way if you don't have the NetLogger program. Is another option for you. So that's a pretty neat idea. I never thought about that. And then he mentioned that his call sign was highlighted in pink, and what that pink line is, you can highlight who is up for comments, or whose turn it is, I guess, or what have you. Like right now, I've still got Bill highlighted. I could kick it up here to me if anybody's watching. But just keep in mind though, if you do monitor the NetLogger via YouTube, you might want to turn your audio down, or it'll confuse you when you go to talk yourself, because it does lag behind. And speaking of that, tonight, instead of pulling the audio directly from C4 FM, I'm actually pulling the audio using my open spot over the FCS connection. I like to toggle back and forth between those occasionally. So, as always, you can listen to YouTube and hear what your own audio quality sounds like. But if you want to hear the difference, I guess, of how everybody sounds coming through FCS versus Wires X, then that's another way to do it too. You can go over to YouTube and listen to the video afterwards and hear that. All right, so let's see if there's anyone else out there that would like to check into the Tri-Cities Mountain Empire Fusion Net. Please call now. This is N4NT with the Tri-Cities Mountain Empire Fusion Net. Is there anyone else that would like to check in?
Victor Echo 4, Charlie.
Okay, we picked up Victor Echo 4, Charlie. Thanks for checking in, and welcome to the Tri-Cities Mountain Empire Fusion Net. We're probably winding down here, so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and turn it over to you for some comments if you'd like to make some. If you're just joining us, we have a net topic, which is basically for the region where the net emanates. We have first snow today, so we're just asking everybody about their weather. But you can make any other comments that you'd like to make, and of course the net topic is strictly optional. But anyway, welcome to the net, and go ahead.
Good day, V4CCC. Yeah, just cruising by, and I seen you guys had a net on there, so I thought I would put my 2 cents in. Realize it's the end of your net. Yeah, your weather sounds fairly close to what we have right here. Our weather up here in Manitoba, that's central Canada. We've been kind of lucky this month. We're above normals. Right now we're sitting at, I think it's about 26 above, 27. We were up to about 34, 35 today, and we're looking to get up closer to the 38 in the middle of the week. So I heard a few of you talking that, yeah, it's similar. We've got about 1.5 inches of snow on the ground. Usually we have, I would say probably 12 to 18 inches of snow on the ground, so it's kind of an unusual year. But other than that, just cruising by and seen it on NetLogger, so I thought I would just throw my 2 cents in and say good day to everybody down south there. V4CCC. We'll turn it over to whoever is going to. V4CCC.
Okay, Leslie, thanks for checking in and for the report there. And this is N4NT, by the way. The name's Adam. I'm in Bristol, Tennessee. And one thing that we do on our net, I noticed you popped up on NetLogger there. At the top of our notes, there's a link to a YouTube channel that I run called Ham Radio Zone, and I broadcast the nets live whenever possible, and then retain the recordings on YouTube, and there's some other stuff on there. But the neat thing is, you can always go back and listen to the nets after the fact and kind of see how your audio sounds and all that good stuff. And tonight we're using the FCS reflector to actually pick up the audio for the net. So come back and join us anytime. We're here every Tuesday night at 9:30 Eastern time, so you're welcome to join us anytime. Any other stations like to check in, please call now. Okay, just a couple quick reminders for the local folks tomorrow night on the 443.000 repeater at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time is their FM net. So be sure to check in and join them if you're local to us here and within range of that repeater. Also at 9 o'clock tomorrow night, the net with no name takes place here on QSO America. And also at the same time, the Yard Dogs net, which is in room 40383, takes place tomorrow night as well. And so we encourage you to check into any of those. And if you have enough radios or what have you, you can actually make all three. I've done it before. Yard Dogs usually runs a little longer than the other two, so it's doable. But and also our West Virginia folks that check in with us, we're glad to have them as always, and they've been a really good supporter of the net and bring a lot of check-ins. Well, they have their net at on Thursday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern Time in room 46488. That's the West Virginia link room. That's called the Country Roads net, and it's a really good net. They have a topic and so forth, and a lot of good information. So we encourage you to check in with them. And one more plug, and then I'll wind it up here. This one is near and dear to me, but Saturday nights at 7 o'clock p.m., depending on availability of net controllers. Right here in QSO America, we have what's called the Kids Connection net, and it's a net that everyone's welcome to check into, kids and adults alike. But what we do is encourage the use of amateur radio, whether it be a third party with one of their parents or they're a licensed ham themselves, to participate in the net, make contacts with each other, and even do net control duties. And we've had some young folks do that, and it's been really neat. So I don't have anybody lined up for this Saturday. If I'm available, I'll pick one up. But we do have a Facebook page where you can monitor and see what the status is, and it's called Kids Connection, spelled KIDZ. And look us up on Facebook, and you can get updates on the net. Okay. With that, let's put out one more call before we close up. Is there any other stations that would like to check in?
You have time for a question from WA4JC. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Wayne.
I went to NetLogger website. It says select your version. This is a Dell Optiplex computer with gaming video card installed in it, and it's I think it's Intel quad core. And I wondered, it says select your version. So what do I do here? Yep.
Let's see. Did you go to netlogger.org and the website should have like when you go to NetLogger and at the top in white letters, and it's got like a green arrow and a green circle and some green little people. Because if you go to the, like, netlogger.com, I think it's a totally different thing.
Okay, well, I see netlogger.org. There's a little padlock with a red slash going through it, and it says netlogger, and there's kind of a green, looks like something from the movie The Matrix behind it. And I go,
Okay. Okay. I know where you're at now. You've already selected the download page. Okay, I got you. So in the select your version, I have what do I have? I've got 3.1.7, which I think is the one that's automatically in the box. And then you just should have a thing to put in your name or call sign and email, and hit download, and that should get you going.
on the top of this is the stable version 3.1.5-7 or later. That's what's on the top. And then there's a 3.1.7, Windows 7 or later, 32, 64-bit. Anyway, that's what I'm looking at. I go.
Yeah, that's the one. I've got the 3.1.7 Windows 7 or later 32/64-bit. That's the most current version there.
Okay, what's this stable version 3.1.5-7?
And either one will work. The .5 is just a little older version. The .7 is what they're putting out newer, and supposedly experimenting with, but it's been out so long that when it's working now, I suspect they haven't updated their site, because I've had it for at least a year, so that's probably just the issue there. But yeah, with the 3.1.7 stable and works fine and has all the latest bells and whistles on it.
Okay, so it's in my call sign and email. Does that mean my computer's going to crash now? Go ahead.
Well, hopefully not. Mine didn't. It should just download it and let you install it.
Okay. I'll give it a try, and I don't want to keep everybody up all night listening to me. Yeah, that's a lot. This is WA4JCF Wayne.
No problem, Wayne. Glad to help out, and it maybe some good information for someone out there that's looking at the program. So, well, I'll go ahead and close everything out here. I'll give the normal stats for those that's still hanging with us. We had, let's see, make sure I got this right, 4 states represented, and we actually have another country represented with the Canadian station checking in, 13 nodes connected at one time. A couple other interesting points. Although we have a Canadian station, another country checking in, he's not the furthest away from us here at the Tri-Cities Mountain Empire area. Comes up from Bristol as 1,185 miles, but the station from Washington State actually has the greatest distance award, if we had such a thing, at 2,171 miles. So just a little bit of information there. Had a total number of 12 check-ins counting net control, and we'd like to thank everybody for taking time to check into the net. And this is N4NT closing the Tri-Cities Mountain Empire Fusion net at 10:14 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:3 and good night, and I'll be returning QSO America back to its normal amateur use in the level 146.670 repeater. I'll be switching back into AMS mode.